What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Duran, and we're here to talk more Celtics basketball as the Boston Celtics defeat the Cavaliers this time, 98-92. There's a lot to take away from this. The Celtics they finally made it back to 500. That's a round of applause we can give them. But let's go ahead and talk about this game. First half, offense is garbage. Let's talk about the half-court offense and just like the effect of Jason Tatum's shooting slump. Right now, at the current moment, the half-court offense is garbage, and they need Jaylen Brown bad. From what I'm thinking, I don't see much creativity out of our half-court offense. I don't know why we go away from the pick and roll. I remember when the pick and roll used to be the foundation of our offense in that Eastern Conference year where we went and played the Miami Heat that year too, and years prior. But ever since then, ever since Gordon Hayward left, we haven't been able to create a fluid half-court offense, in my opinion. And I'm not saying Gordon Hayward is the reason, but I'm just saying, ever since his exit, ever since that year, the half-court offense, in my opinion, it's just not impressive. It's not good enough. 19 points in the first quarter, 18 points in the second quarter. That's not good. You have to play pretty much flawless defense just to stay in the game. And that's what it feels like with these Boston Celtics. They're going to have to lean on their defense until Jason Tatum can figure it out as far as shooting. So because honestly, it's just that the half-court offense just isn't that good to me. It isn't. They need to be more creative. They've got to find ways to create easier baskets. In that first half, it just felt like everything was hard. It's felt that way this entire season, really. It's just every basket has felt like so much labor goes into creating shots. I wouldn't even say creating easy shots. I was about to say, because we don't even create easy shots. I feel like a lot of our shots are contested. A lot of our shots are tough. And when we get the open ones, we don't make them. So it's just a backbreaker. It's a backbreaking way to have an offense to play. It's a backbreaking way to shoot the ball like that. I mean, I don't think we're that good of a 3-point shooting team. I don't have the numbers in front of us, but we never have a good 3-point shooting game, in my opinion. Like it's so up and down. And let's talk about this game. I mean, 34%, 10 of 29. That's not as bad as Cleveland. Cleveland was 16 of 40, but still below 40%. I'm not too mad at it, but you want to have one of a good 3-point shooting. I want this Celtics team to start stringing together good games. This win, it just kind of felt like, we should have beat these guys. But the fact that it was close, it's just like, And then, so let's go ahead and talk about the second half, because they had a really good second half offensively. And let's talk about why. Why did they have a good second half? Pick and roll. They were using the pick and roll more with Al Horford. They were creating easier shots. They were running. It's a complete different dichotomy as far as, just the energy, just the tempo. It's just different. It was different in the second half. And too many times that first half where, we get stagnant, guys are just standing around, no one's cutting. That's happened more often than not. And, I don't mean to get on Ime Udoka. I don't mean to get on, because I know the past couple of videos, it seems like I've come off as a hater, but why does your team continuously come out slow like this? And, it happened to Brad last year. And it's like, I'm not going to blame Ime Udoka for something I'm seeing year after year now. Now we've got to figure out, why is it? What is the reason? Is it what we're eating in the morning? Is it how we're sleeping? Is it the club from the night before? What's going on to why we're starting games this slow? Because it can't continue to happen like this every single game. We've got to figure out the change. But I'll give credit to Ime Udoka. The Celtics in the past 7 games are 5-2. They have the best defense in the NBA. Best defense in the NBA the past 7 games. If Jason Tatum can figure this out and they get Jaylen Brown back, watch out. This team could be dangerous, because I know this team can get stops. This run showed me that they can get stops. But I just have to see it on offense. I have to see them be a cohesive group for a string of games before I can say, I'm confident that this group can at least get out of the first round of the playoffs. They can at least compete with that tier of the Knicks and the Sixers, who are Ben Simmons. They can at least compete with that tier of players, that tier of teams. Then we start talking about the Nets, and we start talking about teams like I don't even know who's in the Eastern. I don't even pay attention to right now as far as the Eastern Conference, because it's so just over the top. Like the Wizards are the number 1 seed, they're 10-3, and it's like I don't think that team's good. Bulls are 10-4. You know, I think they're closer towards the 5th seed than they are the 2nd seed, in my opinion. But I mean, they've been playing good. You can't take it away from them. They have 2 players that are averaging 27 points a game. But I'm talking about that Nets tier, that Heat tier. You know, those tier of teams that have made deep playoff runs that are going to be there at the end. They're going to be there. They are. And I know the Bucks are kind of wavering, but I still think they'll be there too. They're dealing with injuries. They'll be there at the end. They'll get it together. So I want to see this team start to progress just a little bit more. A little bit more. I want to see something different each game. And I think this game was important because you want to see how we responded. That first half was ugly. The second half was the response. 28 points in the third quarter. I think it was like 33 points in the fourth quarter. Fine. And then, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the players. And I know we've just been talking about the game. Let's talk about some of the players. Jason Tatum, for a second there, we got a glimmer of hope that he was going to get out of the shooting slump. For a second there. Didn't end the game quite how you wanted to, but he did enough for them to win it. Marcus Smart wasn't useless today. I'll say he was pretty good, actually. I think he did a good job of playing off ball. He did a good job of getting the balls to others. He had 5 assists today. I think he did a pretty good job. I think it was +1 or +-. And then again, and I just keep feeling this way that Dennis Schroeder outplayed him. Every game that we've played, I feel like Dennis Schroeder has outplayed Marcus Smart every single game. Every single game this season. I don't think like you could probably point out 1 or 2 games that you feel like Marcus Smart is good, but I feel like almost every single one Dennis Schroeder has just outplayed Marcus Smart. Outplayed him. Let's go ahead and talk about injury with Rob Williams. I hope he's doing better. You know, Rob has kind of shut me up. I used to call him, you know, Rob Glass. Rob's doing a really good job this year, man. Rob stayed healthy. Rob stayed on the court. Can't be mad at it. Grant Williams has this random game where he has 11 points and 3 threes, and then we turn around probably the day after he won't do anything. Romeo Langford looked terrible. I'm happy Aaron Nesmith is getting some burn. I want him to continue to get out there. I think the more that you play Nesmith, the more results you're gonna get. I know that it's kind of stagnant. I know he has to be a little bit more consistent, but he has to get minutes. He has to be able to go out there and play and get a feel for the game. But man, what a difference Al Horford made in this game. Just from the last game also, just going back to Al Horford. I know I just kind of segued to Al Horford, but man, just an impact player. Like he should have never left. Why did we let this guy go out the door? And I know it was a price difference, but man, you got to figure out a way to talk to Al Horford and keep him. Because I mean, you're champions with that 2018 squad. Not 2018 squad, but you're champions with that 2020 squad that played the Heat. You're champions. I'm sorry. You have a player like Al Horford over Daniel Tice. You're winning the NBA championship. I feel like that was the best team we've had in a while. In a long time. We should. That's a video for another story. That's another story for a different video is what I meant to say. But yeah, this is a good game. This is a good game so far. You know, we're moving on to the next one, and hopefully we could start stringing some games together. We got Atlanta up next. Atlanta's been bad, and I'll try and have a video up about that game afterwards. But man, Atlanta stinks this year. And imagine if the Boston was as bad as Atlanta, what they'd be saying about Jason Tatum. You ain't heard a peep about Atlanta. A peep. You haven't heard anything about Atlanta. I didn't even know Atlanta was terrible till someone said something. Oh my God. Imagine if this was Boston at 6-9. Well, that's all I got for the video, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.